but sometimes it's hard.
It's not hard. It's your job to be Mrs. Banks.
And what is your job?
To pay for everything? What is it?
I was only going to kiss you.
Oh, all right. Winifred, are you going to say something to Mary Poppins about this afternoon?
I don't think so.
Very well, but just make sure she's doing things our way and not hers. What good are rules if you can bend them? We need a man who is disciplined and stern. With boys and girls, you don't befriend them. I fear that Mary Poppins has a lot to learn.
Being Mrs. Banks should be an easy role, and yet it's one which I don't seem too good at on the whole. I have a comfy home, I have a simple life, I have a name which tells the world I'm someone else's wife. Being Mrs. Banks, what does that entail? Facing tests of character, I always seem to fail. And as for his best people, well, I like to say, no thanks. They're not exactly my idea of being Mrs. Banks.
I still feel as if I'm dreaming. So much fun, and just one day, when Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band. I'm sure the Alice is beaming. Let's hope she will stay. Good night, Ninius.
Let's hope she will
Precision
stay.
and order.
Sing, swing, see what you learn. Me, I was told when I was small, just learn a trade. So I learned no more. Chim chimney, chim chim,
You
choree.
bet. Swap with the next AIC.
Oh yes, got to keep the street ship shape, Dad.
Tell me, how are things aboard number 17? All plain tale with Mary Poppins, I trust.
Well, there's some rough weather on every voyage, Admiral.
Ah, Miss Locke, what those children need is the touch of a cat and a night out for the yacht on.
What those children need, Admiral, is a touch of happiness. Will it be?
Mrs. Brill, don't make the sandwiches too early. They'll get stale before the guests arrive.
Everything's under control, ma'am.
What about the cake?
Cool on the tray, waiting to be iced.
And you're quite sure you know how to ice it?
Quite sure. And in case you're worried, I have not been exchanged by the fairies for a total nincompoop.
No.
No.
Well, I'll just go up and check on the drawing room.
Mother wants you in the drawing room.
She can't have me. I've enough on my plate as it is.
She said you can tell Roberts and I what to do.
Does she indeed? Well, why don't I go have a smoke by the gasworks for good measure?
Please, Mrs. Brill, I'd like to be helpful.
And I'd like to be rich, but the good Lord thought otherwise.
Please, Mrs. Brill, I don't mind. Honest.
All right, I'll give you one task and one task only. And so help me, if you mess this up, I'll swing for you and sing if they pull the lever.
What is it, Mrs. Brill?
Put the icing tools next to the cake, and I'll need a bowl of hot water to warm them. I'll make the icing as soon as I'm back.
Icing tools, cake, hot water. I'll make the icing as soon as I'm back.
Now, do you think you can manage that?
Is that all?
For you, yes. For me, no. Once the cake's done, I have the sandwiches next because Madam wants them fresh. So I can't start them until there's no time to finish them. I swear, a slave in ancient Rome was on a pleasure cruise compared to my life in this house.
Don't just stand there, Robert and I.
Right. No.
What are you looking for?
Oh, for the hot water.
Michael, why don't we make the icing? Because we don't know how? Don't be so feeble and get the eggs. If Mrs. Brill can do it, it can't be that hard. Are there eggs in icing? There are in mine.
Please, Miss Jane, I don't think Mrs. Brill will thank you.
Then she'll be guilty of great ingratitude. Is it supposed to look like that?
It doesn't look like that when Mrs. Brill does it.
Don't be so impetuous and get the cake.
Please, Miss Jane, I was only trying to be helpful. If you would... Oh! Hot! Oh, my goodness, oh dear! Oh, what is this? What is all this? Oh, no!
Yay! Mrs. Brill, go up and get ready now. What have you done? Robert and I! Robert and I! Oh dear, should I call a doctor?
I don't think that will be necessary, ma'am.
How can you be so unkind when you know how important my party is? You deserve some very nasty medicine. Just you wait till bedtime.
Oh, I don't think we need to wait until then. Why not go up and get changed, and we'll clear up, won't we?
But I'm not ill. I won't take it, and you can't make me.
Ah, and that isn't so many things. Your information is faulty. Open. But it's strawberry ice. Now
I'm not sure I like strawberry ice.
I'm not sure I care. Open.
It's lime cordial.
Now, we must get started. Michael, I know you like to keep things neat, and Jane.
I told you she was tricky. Must we? Can't Robert and I do it when he wakes up? He is our servant.
With that attitude, you'll get through many a step before you're very old. Besides, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap, the job's a game, and every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake, a lark, a spree. It's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. My point example. The honeybees that fetch the nectar from the flower to the comb never tire of ever buzzing to and fro, because they take a little nip from every flower that they sip, and hence they find their task is not a grind, for a spoonful of sugar has the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down, just as we them to do it. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
The medicine
Go down, medicine
go down.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way.
So, just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
The medicine go down.
Medicine go down.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Delightful, in the most
Jane, Michael, Smith Watch. Sorry, ma'am. Apparently these came this morning and Roberts and I forgot to give them to you. They're apologies, ma'am, from your guests. They're not coming. None of them.
Do you think we chose the wrong day?
No, ma'am, I'm afraid you chose the wrong one.
In the most delightful way.
Where are we going today?
I thought we could play our next game. What game? It's called A Visit to the Bank.
That's not a game. Did Daddy agree? And if he did, you must have put the idea into his head somehow.
Me, putting ideas into other people's heads. What an impertinent thing to say.
Vision and order, causing a wheel, opening a ledger, closing a deal, prudent investment, financial sense, a perfect ray of sunshine, pound shillings and pence. Good morning. Great men have dreams of power and position, and it's our job to back them to the hilt. For shrewd investment and advice, they'll pay a price. The bedrock on which banks are built.
Now, Rex, I see Herb on Hustlers coming in today. Have you made your decision?
I believe so, sir.
Good, good. Be sure it's the right one.
Every transaction, credit or debt, sheets are all well balanced, targets are met, bet, 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 bet.
Now, Banks, what seems to be the problem? My security is more adequate, and Latin America is an expanding market. What is the problem? Have you no courage?
Yes, but Mr. Von Hustler, what I haven't been able to grasp is, what exactly is your final product?
What do you think? Money, of course!
Yes, money, but I wonder, making money out of money, is that enough?
Are you mad enough to be a banker? A man has dreams of building an empire, make his name in many distant lands, and in the new world I am told will soon strike gold and seize his chance with both ask?
I've come to a decision, Mr. Banks. It's a town full of good people whose future depends on it.
I know that.
Please, Mr. Banks, you won't regret it. The factory could be running in weeks and expanding before the year's out. I'd give it all I've got. Believe me.
I do believe in Mr. Northbrook, and I've tried to find a way, but there's just not the collateral.
What about my workforce? Decent men who want a better life. They're my collateral. My men have dreams to earn an honest living. A wife and kids, a home to call their own. If you'd invest in us today, it pays the way. I promise we'd repay the loan.
I'm sorry, Mr. Northbrook, but
Hello, Daddy!
What on earth are you doing here? Can't you see that I'm busy?
No, we're done here. And no man should ever be too busy for his own children. What are you here for, young man? Have you come for some money as well?
What would they need money for?
Well, it's never too early to learn its value.
I know the value of this. 6p.
No, that's its worth. Its values and how you spend it. Now do good, and may you have good luck.
And what do you say to Mr. Northbrook?
Thank you.
I'll wait outside.
What is the meaning of this? Mary Poppins, I am not without a sense of humor.
Aren't you, Daddy?
No, I am not. And when I was a little boy, I never would have dared interrupt my father.
Were you ever a little boy?
Of course I was. But my nanny, Miss Andrew, kept me out of my father's way. And he would have been very annoyed if she hadn't.
What about your mother?
I shouldn't think I saw either of them more than once a week.
Didn't they mind?
Mind? They were glad to be rid of me.
Then who kissed you goodnight? Miss Andrew?
Oh, heavens, no. There wasn't enough time for hugs and kisses and all that soppy nonsense. What's the matter?
Poor Daddy.
Poor? What do you mean, poor? That is what made me the man I am today. Eh, Mary Poppins?
Yes, I'm afraid it did.
That's quite enough. You've seen where I work, and now it's time to go.
Daddy, when you invest in the bank's money, what are you looking for? A good man or a good idea?
I suppose I should say a good idea, but a good man is much rarer and much more valuable.
Come along, children.
I've considered your arguments, Mr. Von Hustler, but I'm afraid my answer is no.
No, so you do not recognize a good idea.
Perhaps not, but I do recognize a good man when I see one.
You will regret this. Airbags.
A man with dreams that life hasn't broken. A man with hopes, ambitions to fulfill. A man you're certain at first glance deserves a chance. Now, Mr. Northbrook, when exactly could that factory of yours be open?
Thank you, sir. You won't regret it.
There's that horrible old woman.
Don't point. And for your information, she is not in the least poor.
But she's just a bundle of rags.
When will you learn to look past what you see? Early each day to the steps of St. Paul's, the little old woman comes. In her own special way to the people she calls. Come, buy my bags full of crumbs. Come feed the little birds, show them you care, and you'll be glad.
listen, she's calling to you. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. Tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag.
All gone.
Tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a
Really? You don't say. Well, there she is now. You can tell her yourself.
Isn't that Miss Longstall Willoughby?
Don't interrupt when someone's barking. Oh, really? Well, if she keeps running off, perhaps it would be better if you put her on a lead. Ah, look, here she comes now.
Willoughby! Oh, it's all right. Mummy's here. You know, sometimes you'd almost think he could talk.
But can Willoughby really talk?
Of course he can. Getting him to stop is the problem.
How do you learn to talk, darling? Well, how do you think? Master the grammar
Practice when you can.
and avoid mongrels. Far too much slang. Now, come along, children. I can't stand here all day talking shop.
Talking shop? What a silly expression.
Oh, there's nothing silly about it in the least.
What do you buy in a talking shop?
Conversations, of course.
Well, I've never seen a talking shop.
Well, there's only one, and it's owned by Mrs. Corey.
Who's Mrs. Corey?
Who's Mrs. Corey? Mrs. Corey's older than anyone in the world. She talked to William before he went conquering, to Vlad before he went into Pailing, and Alexander when he weren't so great.
We'll have to call her at her shop in the park.
That is no shop.
Remember, anything can happen if you let it. That's it! I'm all out of conversations! Well, good day to you, Miss Corey. Well, just to marry Poppins. With Jane and Michael, thanks.
She knows us.
How is poor little Georgie?
Who?
Georgie Banks, your father! Oh, he used to give his nanny the slip, coming to my shop here in secret.
It can't have been the same George Banks. It would be 40 years ago. No one can remember back that far.
Listen, dearie. I remember everything. I remember Georgie used to love my gingerbread. I wonder if we've got any left today. See, Annie, look lively. Yes, Mother. Here we are, gingerbread pieces with gingerbread stars. Georgie always saved his stars. Now, Mary Poppins, what can I do for you? Well, I did want an ounce of conversations. Oh, an ounce of conversations and I'm right out of words too. We've had a lot of chatterboxes in here today. But let me see what I have left. Oh, we do have some letters in the little back chat too. And as you say, that'll be 15 letters. Go on, take your pick. 15? Well, Mike, you can choose it. Actually, Jane, you go. Choose 7.
I got a D, a G, an R, a U, a C, an N, and an A.
Your turn, Michael. 7 more.
I've got F, E, O, P, and T.
And I'll choose an X. Now let's see, what words can we make?
I see dog and cat.
Routeplex. That's 9.
Lapitophorus. 11, nearly there.
No, you can always use the same letter more than once. Super, califragilistic, expialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Then, of course it's a word. And unless I'm very much mistaken, it'll prove a rather useful one as well. When trying to express oneself, it's frankly quite absurd to leave the lengthy lexicons to find the perfect word. A little spontaneity keeps conversations keen. You need to find a way to say precisely what you mean. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It can mean exactly what you want to. When Stone Age men were chatting, simply grunting would suffice.
Now if they heard this word, they might have used it once or twice.
And short Egyptian pharaohs would have profiteered